For the second semi-final at the MCG, it will be a rematch of the 2023 AFL Grand Final as Collingwood take on Brisbane for the right to play in the Grand Final. And as always, we do the player reviews before we get underway with the actual analysis. Collingwood's forward line, whilst not having any big name players like the last matchup, does have some few forces. Brody Mychek had to come back in. Tim Membry has been a strong addition, but their small forwards are the scary one. Gordon Creary's been very strong. Lockie Shaw, Alter's been a very crazy addition. Harry Perryman's played quite well on the forward line all year, so I'm forward defense at points. But I feel like the midfield and defence has been really where they've been scary. Their midfield, Nick Dacos, Jack Cripps, Patrick Lipinski, who can also show up forward, Steele Sidebottom. Jordan Goey is also another very strong small forward as well to have to worry about. And their defence, led by Darcy Moore, Baby Maynard, Isaac Kleiner, and Dan Houston. Jeremy Howard's had to come back in, which will make him so much better. A formidable, powerful defence, and one of the strongest in the league, and the strongest in the league this year after being ranked in the 10th, 11th ranked all throughout last year. For Brisbane, their forward line consists of Logan Morris as the premier key forward, and their small forwards surrounding Cal Marchi, Charlie Cameron, Ty Loman, who recently shaved his head, and Charlie and Cam Rayner are scary small forwards to have to deal with throughout. Their midfield, the Ashcroft boys, Will Levi Ashcroft, Hugh McGoddins, Josh Dunkley, Jared Bailey, Jackson Fletcher, Darcy Wilmot, just brutal and scary all throughout. And their defenders, Harris Andrews, Brennan Starsmith, Dane Zorko, just all very scary defenders that to worry about, and a lineup that is loaded with talent. Both these lineups are loaded with talent all throughout. Overall, one more thing before we get into the game players for this game. Just the news, Bobby Hill not playing this game. Collingwood has decided not to take the risk with Bobby, and he will sit out for this game. And speaking of the last two times they played each other, there is some interesting notes to get in through this game based on the last two times they played each other. With Collingwood winning on Easter Thursday before Good Friday by 50 points at the Gabba the first time. As I mentioned, Nick Dacos absolutely dominated 38 disposals. But interestingly, Dan McStay scored 3 goals. Dan McStay will not play in this preliminary final. Jamie Elliott dominated as well. He's another player for Brisbane to watch out for. When Brisbane beat Collingwood on Saturday night in round 21 by 21 points, the big star was Logan Morris with 6 goals. He just could not miss that night, and Cam Rayner and Josh Dunkley broke open this game in the third quarter, and another player who broke open this game, another player who was expected to miss. The Lions captain and 2 times Brownlow medalist, Lockie Neal, who had 36 disposals that night, will not play in this game, which is a big loss for the Lions. But for the X-game players, for Collingwood, 2 big ones. Jordan De Goey, Nick Dacos. When Collingwood played Brisbane in round 6, Nick Dacos was the star with 38 disposals, just dominating through midfield and goal. And if they are to win on Saturday, he is expected to have another big game through that midfield, just racking up disposals like no other. And Jordan De Goey was back to his best against Adelaide and has just been promising all week of having a finals game-breaking performance. It will be big for him to get back on that note and be able to get back to playing like that in this game. For Brisbane's ex-players, I think there are two ones. Cam Rayner has just shown the ability to absolutely take over finals and dominate them for such a long time, and he will need to do the same against Collingwood on Saturday. And Logan Morris, can we see a game-breaking performance from him once again? He kicked 6 goals on day 1 in round 21. Could we see it again? Overall, for the ways that both teams end up winning this game, it's very interesting because in the last game, it was both teams had the same way to win. Just dominate the midfield, quell the other midfield, and your forwards score goals. But here, both teams are going to want to play different ways. For Collingwood, with the league's most miserly defence, they're going to want to quell the Lions' scoring power and just get all the instant marks they want and just shut them down. A low-scoring dour game is what the Pies want for their players to come up at opportune times. Jordan Goey, Steele Seibel, Nick Dacos, all of them to come up at big times and score goals and shut the Lions down to a low score. For the Lions to win, however, they're going to want a fast, brutal, ball movement game. It's going to be fast, it's going to be chaotic. Collingwood's defence will be put off its feet as guys like Cam Rayner, Josh Dunkley, the Ashcroft boys just score goals at will with their forward scoring power. Overall, who I think will win this game? It's going to be a very interesting matchup and a very matchup between defence and offence. And I think Brisbane has a little more star power across the ground, and they're a team you just can never underestimate as the reigning premiers. But this game will be at the MCG. 95,000 screaming Collingwood fans. But the big thing for me is the breaks. Two things. One, it's the breaks. I just feel like for Collingwood to win the premiership this year, they need to get top 4 and then win the qualifying final with their list profile, and that's exactly what they've done. All the players are going to be rested up, they're going to be raring to go, they'll be ready to play a very strong game. And I also just feel like there's a bit of revenge element to it. I said in my mind, the loser of round 2 in the finals. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm predicting Collingwood by 10 points in a close one. The Lions will go up a very strong fight, but without Lachie Neale against the league's best defence and a screaming MCG crowd, it might just be too much. And fingers crossed it's too much from a Pies perspective, because it would be pretty big for me to be able to cover a Pies grand final on this channel, I'm not gonna lie. But that is my thoughts for this game. Let me know what you thought about in the comment section below. And get ready for a big one starting at 5:15 Saturday. The winner through to a grand final.